I'm Linda Snyder Crockett, owner of Snyder Jewelers and one of the co-founders of A Woman's Work. So many of the women in this community were so in need and falling through the cracks, and we all knew them but didn't know how to help them. As an example of one of the women that we've helped recently and someone that I referred as a donor, that's something we ask is for referrals. If you know someone who's in need, we'd appreciate it and ask for you to help refer them. That we will go to other nonprofits also, but I bet that each one of you knows someone who needs some help. Last year, I had a young woman who I've met many times and had hired to do some housekeeping because she had been at a nursing home as a CNA and really struggling making ends meet, and her mother became ill. And she couldn't afford rent that month anyway, almost, but certainly couldn't afford a plane ticket to go home and see her mom for one last time. She's not someone who's on aid. She works in the community. She takes care of people. She does a tough job, but gets a low salary. I mean, $10 an hour, and yet it keeps her from being able to qualify for other help. Kate was able, through sitting down with her and talking to her, to determine that they needed to help her with a plane ticket, but they also needed to help her with rent and utilities to take the pressure off, for if she wasn't working, she wasn't earning. She had no paid vacation. So they provided rent, utilities, and $500 towards a plane ticket because it needed to be changeable. And she was able to be home with her mother and spend quality time with her before she passed, and come home and know she still had a place to live when she got here. Without A Woman's Work, I don't know what she would have done. Well, if someone went into the Our Center, which is another really wonderful organization, and said, I can't feed my children, or I have no food, they're going to be taken care of. But there are requirements. They have government grants and so on. There's nothing there that would help them with something like this. There's very few things that if they make some money, a lot of times it just eliminates them getting help. So our referrals from other organizations are very important, but things like this young woman, that's not probably going to come from one of them. It's going to come from one of you, one of our local women, our donors who are familiar with the kind of help we can offer, and that we are not going to say no because you make $10 an hour. And there are things we'll pay for that help a woman. It's the hand up. It's just what they need right now to help them through this crisis or this moment. And most of the organizations who hand out help, it's longer term than that. That's the special thing. A hand up this time and just pay it forward is all we ask. As our community grows, and there were so many people devastated after our flood and so on, to have money in the funds, in the bank, and at the ready for bigger crises. We've done smaller things, and on average our grants were probably all under $1,000. But bigger grants would be great. If we have a young family who is homeless, get them into a home, whether it's a business donating or an individual. For me, it's all about caring about the people in your community. It's about caring about families and children, because even though it's a woman's, the grants go to women, it's always helping more than just that individual woman. It's helping the family, the children, the businesses. Many of the people we're helping are actually working in the community. You know, the important thing for me about being a donor to A Woman's Work is any one of us could be in this position. Or a member of our family, maybe we have been already and we're past that. And maybe, you know, it's a member of our family who's in struggles, or we know someone, but I'll bet there's not, if I asked someone in the room to stand up and tell me if they've known anyone who could have used our help but didn't have help like A Woman's Work available, I'll bet everyone in the room would be standing.